Greetings! Welcome to the first episode of Writing Block. I don't exactly have a script, so this is a first take, one take. Disclaimer, this is fair use. And please take note everyone, everybody has a cultural, preferential story bias. We all have a certain bias, and that's fine. Some people like plot-driven stories, some like character-driven stories, some like concept or interesting premises, and others, they like everything. Or they don't. So, these are my opinions, and I hope you enjoy the review. Respect to the maker, shout out to LouiMezDez. I have butchered it. Very sorry for that. But overall, big respect. So the review today is going to be about a Minecraft movie. And it's a horror Minecraft movie. And it's a medieval times horror movie. It's about Herobrine. I only found out recently from my wonderful new friends in Discord that it's supposed to be pronounced Herobrine and not Herobrain. So I'll be judging based off of 5 criteria to rate this movie. This 2-hour and 15 minutes movie. Goodness, 2 hours is so long. Great job. Alright, first criteria. Go. Storyline. Plot, how interesting or creative it is, and how much of it makes sense. Regardless, I'm coming into this, my first Minecraft movie, with an open mind and just hoping for a good time and lots of, giving lots of benefits of doubt to the director. Second, number 2, pacing, dialogue, scene choices, transitions, how fleshed out the characters are, relationships, music as well. Number 3, character design, environment, meaning, the set, the background, the movie scenery. Atmosphere, the atmosphere meaning, the trees, the color choices, the aesthetic overall of the movie, how much of these elements make sense or fit and suit the situation or the scene that is being shown. Now, number 4, how cinematic, how cinematic or whatever kind of style the movie is trying to portray itself in, so that we know that what kind of movie this is. Alright, if it suits your taste or not. And number 5 is, I forgot to write it down in my script, so just leaving number 5 out. And yeah, those are my criteria, because today this is not only a review, but this is also a critique. I'm doing as best as I can. I don't really have that much experience, but I will do my best. Alright, first impressions. Let's go. This is the no spoilers section. I will be linking it, timestamping it in the descriptions. Please go there as well. Thank you. So I did not put this in my script, but from the trailer, I remember it was actually a bit messy because from before I watched the movie and before I even knew that I would actually genuinely enjoy 2 hours worth of hard work and effort, I did not know that I would actually watch it till the end. I thought at first I was only going to watch an hour or so because I was really worried if I would be able to stomach the animation or the style, because in some Minecraft episode series, it's from first person, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it does get dizzying when you see the screen just going up and down, or left to right, it's very disorientating. So I was really impressed when I watched the movie and the first part of the movie. Get this. This is what actually made me want to watch the movie till the end. It was the Minecraft. Da 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 dun 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 da 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 da. It was that part. It was the Universal Studios introduction, and that made me want to watch it till the end. For some reason, it felt like a real legitimate movie, and it was as well. Okay, so back to the trailer. It was slightly a bit messy, but after rewatching the trailer at least 2 times, I did get the sense that okay, it did start to make sense. Okay, so far from the trailer, we know that it's scary. There's Herobrine. It's a bit medieval-esque. The time era, the timeline, and there's gonna be King Arthur. You know, the legend of King Arthur. And overall, from that, and also my knowledge from watching the movie, if you are interested in medieval times roleplay, you know, the hero's journey kind of storyline, interested in horror elements, you really want to be immersed into such a rich, cultured environment, go for this movie. It's perfect. And plus, there's romance. There's romance again. There's romance, although it's not the main part of the movie, and I do have some critiques about it. Overall, it was wonderful. And also, if you like aesthetics, or you love to see, how do I say this, everyone getting in character, this movie is for you, because it was perfect. It was interesting because the premise was, and I quote from my lovely friend who actually worked, who was a part of the working production team in the movie, LL. I'm just going to call her that. So LL told me, or our friend group chat on Discord, that think of it as King Arthur's, you know, the story of King Arthur, the legend, Excalibur or Caliburn or whatever that is, and medieval times, and Herobrine. And I was hooked because there's gonna be romance, I hope. Actually, I did not expect there to be romance, but I was pleasantly surprised. Alright then. I was not expecting such high quality in camera movement or panning, as I should say. It wasn't dizzying at all. And the music production, my goodness. The music, the atmosphere, the Minecraft skins, or should I say, costume designs, everything was beautifully done. I was so impressed. So, if you're up for it, check out this movie. Again, another round of applause to LouiMezDez and his production team and everyone who worked on it, especially the music composer and the skin makers, as well as the environment, the map builders, and the voice actors as well, and the writer, of course. Everyone did an excellent, fantastic job. Well done. Alright then. Let's get into the spoilers. Oh, alright, a small little note I wrote down. If you like found family kinds of relationships, suspense, action, horror, adventure, then this movie is right up your alley. We're going to the spoilers territory now. Be wary. I wrote down 8 pages of my opinions while watching the entire movie. It took me 2 days to get through it. Time for spoilers! Ba 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 ba. Let's start from what I did doing research. Yay! Since this movie takes place during the King Arthur's story, and did you know? But there are many versions of the King Arthur story. You know, Excalibur, Caliburn. Apparently, it's the same sword. It's the same damn magical, immortal sword. But historians confused it, so now it's a separate thing. But it's the same thing, apparently. I don't know. Who knows? So, the most popular version of the King Arthur's story is a book by Thomas Mallory called Le Mort d'Arthur, and it was written in the 1485, because I did my research. But I'm also in slight confusion, because I did watch the movie, about Merlin. You know, the wizard, the white bearded wizard guy who was friends with King Arthur, I guess. I was confused about Merlin's age. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Or I hope you know what I'm talking about. Because I remember rechecking back and back to scenes and, placing time mark. But I'll get to it soon. I'm not going to question anything yet. The only thing similar between the movie and the story of King Arthur is that King Arthur's best friend, best bro, best knight is Lancelot, Sir Lancelot, Knight Lancelot. And I was really sad that I didn't get to see the affair between the Queen Guinevere and Lancelot. Cough, cough. It was a shame. And did you know King Arthur's father is King Uther? Urthr? Or ER? I don't know. So King Arthur, who's the son of King Uther, I'm guessing he's the first son. So if he has a brother who was born after him, his name will probably be King Beether, and then King Seether, and so on and so forth. Maybe that's just what I thought. Then yeah, and interesting foreshadowing if you saw the cover, or should I say the thumbnail of the movie. Certain characters are on it. It was foreshadowing, and I did not catch that. I thought it was just a bunch of characters that were just chosen. But no, everything was deliberate, because the director definitely knew. The people who were super analytical will definitely spot the foreshadowing. There was a lot of subplots in the movie, the transitions. Some scenes did not make sense unless you rewatch it again. The next thing, Herobrine. For those of you who are new to Minecraft or don't know who this wide-eyed Steve-looking guy is, apparently, I tried to look at the origin story. Apparently, he's a glitch? ? He doesn't exist in the Minecraft game, but he does, I suppose. The first encounter with Herobrine was in the alpha version of Minecraft, the game. And also, fun fact about his existence, but even though he is scary, all he did, according to some comment made by Nominal Dingus on a, Herobrine's origin story, was that Herobrine just hides in the fog, digs tunnels in mountains, takes leaves from trees, and builds sand pyramids. He's very harmless. So, But of course, where's the fun in harmless? So lo and behold, a scary legend was born. Now off to the next topic. Bom, 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 bom. I actually have the real time notes that I took while I was watching the movie. Sadly, at the beginning, I did not write my notes in the best coherent way. And so all I wrote, as you can see, is voice acting. Minus A. Dialogue and writing. 4.5 out of 5 because it actually makes sense. A. Camera angles and cuts. Very cinematic. Choices of the scenes is great. Actually, it was very great. I was very surprised because the biggest strong suit of this director, of Louis, is he's incredibly talented in choosing the right scenes and transitions, as well as the pacing. The pacing was beautiful. It was not too slow, nor was it too fast, but once you pay attention, everything was actually quite fast, but it makes so much sense. Although I did wish that there was some moments for the reader or the audience to take a breather and just absorb and soak in the beauty of the environment, the world. And there were moments like that, as you will see at the first part of the movie. Not much, little choppiness in the camera. I wrote this down because there, of course, in the first scene was when this guy, I don't know, he's in a jail cell, forgot his name already because he's irrelevant to the story. All we know is that he has magic, okay? And apparently, I don't know, magic bad, I guess. There's only a few nights. In the whole movie, or should I say, in the Kingdom of Camelot. Yes, this is actually this movie is a retelling, reimagining, / combining Herobrine into the movie with, the legend of King Arthur, which was actually pretty great. Oh my goodness. So the first part of the story, what you see is, so it starts off in a dungeon. Yes, in a dungeon cell. This guy, apparently he's this blonde-haired Knight Lancelot. He will be important to the story. Well, I mean, he's hot, so that's about it. He is the best knight in Camelot. How do I know this? You will be told that by the king pretty soon. So he goes to the dungeon cell, whatever, greets his other knights. He only has goddamn 3 other knights, which actually is pretty accurate to the King Arthur story, where the knight Lancelot, he does have 3 knights around him who are his close buddies. I don't know, his bromances, I suppose. And all of them had the same name as the knights. You will learn that soon, later, much later. So this first part, my review is going to be only about the first hour of the movie because it's too damn goddamn long and I have no patience for this. I have no idea if I'll even make a part 2, but who knows. So it starts off again as I was continuing. Lancelot goes, "Oh no, my poor friend, you're in jail, my homie." And then the guy, who finally we get some world building, of him explaining, well, not explaining, but him going, "Lancelot, I'm homeless. It's much better to be in jail, to have somewhere to sleep, than to be on the streets." Which is actually a real thing that I read about in Japan. Elderly people, it was actually quite sad, who, their children didn't have time to take care of them or whatnot, and they don't want to go to those retiree homes. So what they do is they just break in a house. It was very harmless. They just report on themselves like, "Hey, police, I broke into this house. Come and arrest me." It's actually very sad. And the police, they did. And so for the winter in Japan, these elderly people, they just migrate into jail cells. And the prison was getting very overcrowded, so that was another issue in itself. But that was very nice of the director to add in that real life issue and situation. But sadly, this is not the 21st century, and this movie takes place in the medieval times. I'm guessing the 15 something something. And so, this poor guy, his friend, his homie Lancelot, has to tell him, "My brother, you are sentenced to death. I can't do anything about it. I'm very truly sorry." And then his friend, the magician guy, is going, "No, you must do something about this, please. I had to do this. I had to. It does suck." But apparently, in medieval times, death was very common. So, hashtag RIP, RIP, rest in peace. So while he was talking to Lancelot, he was doing his magical jiggly fingers, or should I say cubes, because Minecraft. And he got the keys from one of the other knights while Lancelot was chitter-chattering on. And Lancelot leaves, hashtag sad because his homie is in jail and about to die, cry. And while he leaves, his friend in the jail cell does an evil laugh. Mwahahaha. Yeah, you should be sorry. I don't exactly remember the script, but he laughed evilly and knocked out the guards, or should I say the knights. There were only 3 knights. So, the dungeons, they aren't really, quote unquote, the most heavily guarded. I hope the castle or the kingdom is, by the looks of this singular jail cell, this singular dungeon. Alright, so he gets out. Some of the knights woke up. They chased his ass into the forest. It was nighttime, by the way. They chased him into the woods. They lost him because, this is why I wrote down in my notes that the camera was choppy, but it wasn't choppy. It was actually nice. It was some sort of stop motion effect, which worked beautifully, actually. If someone else out there is making a Minecraft movie, do a stop motion kind of effect. Trust me, it looks so cool, actually. At first, because the camera was actually really good as well. It was smooth. Alright, so carrying on, moving on. So he goes into the woods. It's nighttime. The music, chirp, chirp. The crickets are going. It was dark and dusty. And so he's hiding behind a tree or something. This magician guy is huffing and puffing. This is where we get the introduction of Herobrine. Dun dun dun. So he appears out of nowhere, but the magician guy, the jail cell guy, he's just, his back is against the tree and just going, "Who's there, you fool? Who's there?" And then, it's just a guy. It's just a wolf, I think. The Herobrine just comes up with his white-ass eyes and just jump scare. Boom! And we're introduced to the beautiful scenery of the Kingdom of Camelot. Yes, his death was irrelevant. Well, not too irrelevant. But you should know by the introduction of magic and horror and medieval that this story has elements of adventurous heroes. Alright. And so, this is where I took lots of screenshots because holy damn, you have to watch this movie to enjoy the beauty of the world. The world was beautifully painted out. You could feel the sunlight on your skin, on the rooftops. The town looked bustling and beautiful and absolutely medieval times. It looked old as hell, and I loved it. I loved every part of it. the lighting is S tier, bonus points with the music, because oh my goodness, the music. Whoever did the music was actually what helped suck me right in to the movie, the storyline. It was gorgeous. Oh my gosh! Without the music, this movie would have still been great. But oh my goodness, the music was so important. I would say it's 75% of the reason why I I could fully immerse myself and enjoy the movie to its highest quality. It's the music. All right. I'm sure you guys will see the pictures on the screen of the beautiful places. All right, let's continue on to the costume designs. A plus. The costume designs, or should I say, the Minecraft skins, were very distinct, unique to their own characters. It complemented the characters that wore it. It's beautiful. And this is where we get introduced to the protagonist, Derek, who is a piece of toast, is how I can describe his personality. If I remember that he had one, of course he had, but he was still a piece of toast. So the next scene that we got introduced to is, Derek's father, and then the father, his stepdaddy, his daddy figure, Gregory. You see him and Derek, the protagonist, the main protagonist character, just duking it out, just sword play, wink, no, not that kind, but just sword playing, training by the sound effects of clink, 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 metal against metal, in the beautiful daylight. Gosh, it was gorgeous. I really did wish there was more close-up scenes on, the sword against sword action to make things feel more immersive than it already was, but it was not that bad. It was great. So it was very easy to follow along. This movie had an amazing key point that some people forget at times, whether it comes to script writing, movie making, storyline writing, comics, whatever it may be, whatever medium of art it may be, of story, it must be easy to follow. The story must be able to be digestible and understandable by anyone who instantly clicks on it and watches it. Like me. And there were, oh my goodness, so many sublines. My god, the romance, the Juliet and Romeo kind, the tournament, the prisoner, the Herobrine. Alright, so continuing on. You see these two duking it out, these two men. Alright, nice. And off the side, cheering for them, or should I say only cheering for the protagonist, very sad Gregory, were these two girls, the blonde one, the pretty one, Derek's girlfriend, who I did not find, I did not pay attention to. I did not even know her name until the midpoint of the movie when he finally called her Alice. Then I realized, oh, her name was Alice. I just wrote down in my notes, Dee's girlfriend. Alright. It was a bit unenthusiastic, it was like, not unenthusiastic, it was not bad. I love both of them, the two girls. The other girl, beside the blonde one, the pretty one, is the bully girl. I call her this because we'll get to that part. She bullies someone in particular. Cough, cough. And I did not know her name until she actually bullied someone out of the, the main cast, alright? Apparently her name is Beth. B. Well, the letter B starts with bully anyway, so it makes sense. It makes very much sense. So, continuing on. Again, this is according to my memory. Yeah, just watch the movie, please. So, they're cheering for the guy, and at one point during the training, it's not that long, I swear to God, Derek, swings up his sword, and Greg, his stepdaddy, sword, fell on the floor. And he's like, well done, my boy. Your parents would be proud. Your father. But your mother won't be proud because, she doesn't want to get your ass hurt. And then Derek is like, yeah. I forgot his dialogue, question mark. So he goes to his his cheerleaders, aka his friend and girlfriend. And so he goes over to them and they're going, way to go, you did it. Your training finally paid off. Da 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 da. I mean, we the audience aren't exactly shown his training montage, but we're shown the result of it. Again, this is where I have a bone to pick with in the movie because it's like there's half of the payoff in the movie. Like, okay, the tension is rising, da 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 da. I mean, the horror and everything else was done beautifully, but the story, it was the world, the writing. The payoff was like 50% there, and it was straight to the result. It's like showing someone, let's say it's a 1-hour recipe or it's a 1-hour cooking show. It's like you're showing the audience only the remaining 30 minutes. And it's like, okay, well done. This is the recipe. This is the result. We didn't even get to watch the first 30 minutes of, we didn't get to see the ingredients getting prepped. We didn't see, what kitchen appliances we should use, what this and that. We didn't get to see that. All we got to see was, how the plating of the food was prepared. And boom. And the food, boom. It's beautiful. All right. That's the metaphor I would use for this, for a lot of things in this movie. But again, benefit of the doubt, giving the benefit of the doubt to the director because it is 2 hours long. And this is where the issue of having so many main characters comes in. You must have a main focus, or else, your audience isn't going to remember, who the heck is that girl? Who the heck is that person? Who the heck is this character? I don't know. I just remember bully, knight, the main character's girlfriend. That's about it. So continuing on, the bully girl makes a comment saying, "Oh my gosh, you don't give yourself enough credit." Da 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 da. And the girlfriend, Derek's girlfriend says, "Yeah, sweetie, whatever. You need to accept that you're gonna show the world of Camelot that you're the best sword fighter ever. Apparently, for the tournament, I guess." And then Derek says, yeah, I hope so. Da 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 da. I'm so nervous for the tournament. So apparently, in the Kingdom of Camelot, there's this big tournament I don't know. And Derek wants to join in because I don't know. We know nothing of the characters' goals, dreams, motivations. All I know so far from this part of the movie is that, okay, Gregory, the stepdaddy, is a mentor guy type of guy. We know his goal, his motivation. All right, he wants to take care of his son figure. All right, cool. Wants to train him for whatever he loves. That's great. A great supporting, healthy relationship. Woohoo, parents. And Derek is a piece of toast who I don't exactly know how to describe his personality. He's the protagonist. That's about it. That's his personality. He's the protagonist who is nervous about his own abilities, I guess, question mark, because his friends are saying that for him, but we don't see any of that. You'll get it, guys, when you watch the movie. And as I'm about to continue explaining. And so, the bully girl, I mean Beth, the redhead, she goes, "Well, I'm off toodaloo, lovebirds. Oh my gosh, I wanted to come along with you too. Whatever. Oh yeah, because Derek said he wanted to go to the tavern, the local bar, because they're all 18. Yes, I checked. I checked using maths. You'll know what I mean much later. Cough, cough. Yeah. And the Beth girl goes, "Oh, will Sir Lancelot be there?" Because, she's boy crazy. And Derek goes, "I don't think so. # I'm not really friends with that big guy." And then Beth is like, oh, okay, peace out then. And then she just goes off wherever the hell she goes. And so, yeah. Overall, we're introduced to 4 characters. Good, nice. So the girlfriend just gives him a pep talk, I guess. Like, you can do it, honey. Sweetie, whatever. Also, the voice acting in this movie is lovely. But I swear, the voice actor for Alice and Derek's girlfriend is so eerily similar to my friend LL. I swear to God, I thought it was her for a moment because the voice, everything, it was on point. I was wondering, okay, so her personality is that, she has a quieter voice. She's probably some, I don't know, noble lady because she's acting more, or at least she's behaving more ladylike compared to her friend Beth, who just went skibbity bop, skitty daddle. She went off to wherever the hell she went. So the next scene happens. The guy leaves his girlfriend. I don't know. Oh yeah, because apparently she has a curfew because her daddy is strict. Boo-hoo. She has to go back home before sundown. Okay, or else he'll kill her. I guess. I don't believe this crap. Okay, this is where I'm gonna say my problem with this. Okay, not problem. There's no consequences in this movie. Okay, there is. There's death. Okay, but you expect that from a horror movie. But where's the consequences? You all will understand what I mean much later when I explain. But this girl, she's saying, "Oh no, I can't be out after sundown, honey. I love you, but my daddy's like strict because he's stuck up. He has okay." Where's the consequence of that, though? Like, I'll get to that soon. And so, Derek bids his girlfriend off, like, toodaloo, farewell, my love, mwah. Okay. That's their relationship. It's the most boring, vanilla relationship I've ever seen in my life, but the romance is healthy, so, I mean, it's good for them. Good for them, but I still, I found it boring. Alright, so the next scene, the tavern. It's starting to get a little nighttime. Derek goes into the tavern. While he's going in, at the side of the screen, you will see these 2 characters, these 2 guys who look like they're, very shady, probably selling drugs, who knows, medieval drugs, I guess. And, Derek goes up to the front counter of the tavern bar. There's no worker in sight because the tavern apparently can't afford one, or the person probably went home early and people are still hanging out? Question mark? I really wish there were more extras in here. As beautiful as the whole movie set is, it doesn't feel that much alive when there's only a few people. Of course, it does feel alive, but I wish it was more alive. Wake me up inside, can't wake up, wake me up inside. Okay. And so, he goes in, he sees his friend, well, the person drinking, this girl, we are introduced to a new character. She introduces herself as Sharon, the drunken friend. Okay, not the drunken friend, but I'm stressed, I cry a lot. Okay, alright, we know who this character is now. Alright, moving on. So Derek comforts her, like, don't drink too much, my friend. And she's like, yeah. Oh, okay, a detail I forgot to mention was that Derek, he didn't know that his friend drinks, and apparently the only reason why Shannon, this cutie pie, her voice actor, my gosh, sounds so sweet. I love her voice. One of my favorite. She's one of my favorite characters in the movie. It's because of the voice acting. The reason why she's even drinking in the first place is because remember that bully girl, Beth? Remember how I said that she's gonna bully someone? Yeah, this is the girl that bully girl bullies, which is kind of sus. I'm going to explain why. I found that bully girl to be so freaking suspicious. Like, my senses were tingling. And I can't tell you why until much later. So remember how the bully girl likes that knight, Lancelot, best knight. So, bully girl was bullying Shannon for, I don't know, whatever the reason. She finds random things to pick about. And so Shannon apparently said to her that Lancelot doesn't know who she is and whatever. And then she called her fat or something, like her nose is fat or something. And then Shannon, again, super emotional. She's like, oh my god, no. Actually, it's quite interesting why she gets imagine. Oh my goodness, the self-esteem issues back then in medieval times. You get called an insult once, and you're drinking at a bar. My goodness, Shannon, get it together. Alright, so while they're talking, Shannon asks, where's your girl? And Derek goes, oh, her dad is super protective, I guess. I don't know. Don't ask me. And so while they're talking, the girl in the background, you'll see this girl soon. Another new character. Dun dun dun. Her name is Shay. She's one of my favorite characters in the movie and show because she's very unique. Sadly, she isn't she isn't in the movie much, sadly. You'll see her appear soon. So then Derek goes on, he goes to talk about the tournament. And when he said this, the two guys from earlier, remember that I told you the ones that looked like they were dealing some meth to each other, the ones that shady looking people at the side of the tavern, they look at him and they go up to him, or at least go up to the bar counter, and they're all, well, no, not these two guys. The blonde one is the not the boy toy, the sidekick of this, the antagonist of the story, I guess. The antagonistic main character. His name is Ollie because he's oily as hell. I don't even know his side guy's name until I rechecked stuff in the movie. Until my second time watching the movie. Apparently his name is Dan. Yeah, very irrelevant. Okay, continue on. So, Ollie's like, ha ha ha, I see you're talking about the tournament. Well, you're not gonna be able to get in there, cause I'm gonna beat your ass. Cause Ollie's, I don't know, a big shot in the town, in the village. And then the sidekick, his boy toy, his BFF is, at the side, the shorty blonde guy goes, yeah, Ollie's gonna beat your ass, like the typical copy-paste villain sidekick character. His character doesn't really get any nuance or any fleshed outness. All we know is, okay, Dan is the sidekick. That's about it. Like, I don't know his personality. He's just, I mean, I guess he's a very loyal friend, if that's counted as a personality trait. But alright, So Derek, so Shay, no, not Derek. Well, what is it? The girl Shannon, Derek's other friend, goes, well, Derek's gonna kick your ass in the tournament, cause we're all starting to talk like immature children and teenagers, cause technically we are teenagers. We're all 18. And then, Ollie, the villain character, apparently he's the villain, but Herobrine is also the villain. But, anywho, Ollie's like, huh, Derek, does this little girl speak for you? Because, medieval times, women back then, being a woman sucked. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And so, I really did not like this about Derek. I mean, I feel like, on one hand, the director, from what Derek's friends also talk about him or say about him sometimes, is like, oh, he's such a genuine guy. But then when you look at his actions or his own dialogue, he's an average guy with angst, with teenage angst. Because what he says next is, and I remember this clearly in my head because I did not like the way it didn't sit well with me, his tone. Because the way he said to Ollie, excusing his friend, was that, yeah, she certainly does not speak for me. I was going, huh? That's your friend. Okay, I guess back then, medieval times, like sexism, okay, I guess. But that's still your friend. Why would you say that? Because the way it sounded, the way it made Derek sound like an asshole in that moment. Yeah, my friend certainly does not speak for me. Shannon, oh my gosh, poor her. Because I felt like I was in her shoes. I felt a bit hurt. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, technically, yeah, she doesn't speak for him, but she's trying to defend her friend. My God, that pissed me off 0.1%. And so, to their rescue, or should I say, to Derek's rescue, that girl earlier, Shay, the cute one, the one-sided braid hairstyle, that every adventurous girl has. Hashtag Angelina Jolie too. So she's like, oh, she's like, can you guys just shut the hell up? Because I'm a badass female character. And then Ollie's like, huh? What the hell? I don't know what he says. Insert some villain bullcrap. Insert some egotistical villain bullcrap. I'm better than all of you peasants. And Shay goes, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna shove a toothbrush down your throat to your liver until that you can't even properly brush your insides. I forgot what she said, but it sounded so cool, but it took too long. I felt like the delivery was a bit too long, but it felt kind of badass because the music and the music I think was there, and the shots, the camera shots, and so those two shady guys were like, ugh, whatever, women, ugh, whatever, I'll see you in the tournament, ugh. So they two leave, they skedaddle out of the tavern. And so Shay, introduces herself to Derek. He's like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm gonna be in the tournament too. Finally, we get some world building, or additional world building information when Shannon says, "Oh, you're in the tournament? How did you do that? You're a woman." Because, sexism in medieval times, I guess, where women, we didn't get many opportunities that much. And Shay goes, "I have my ways." I thought, damn, that's badass. But we don't get much detail out of that. So she's very mysterious. Like, ooh, I have my ways. Just a small little observation I made is that there's some small, super tiny inconsistency with the dialogue. It switches in between Old English, a mix of Old English and New English. You'll see what I mean soon. There's a good example of it coming soon. And Shay just, skedaddles out of here. And so, Shannon and Derek is like, they were left behind, and Derek's like, alright, I'm gonna go now. Okay, bye. Oh yeah, okay. And so another thing that happened, I forgot to mention this. So, that girl, Shay, she beat Dan's ass. Well, she didn't beat his ass, but she did, slap him, like, I remember. I forgot to add that little detail. I love that. She was like, oh yeah, I'm tough, beach. I'm also in the tournament. Alright, nice. So after that, Derek just leaves his friend Shannon in the tavern, saying like, hey, don't drink too much, don't be a drunk ass. She's like, yeah, cool, okay. So Derek, goes out of the tavern. He stares into the darkness of the beautiful forest. That's about it. I thought there was going to be a jump scare, but there wasn't. And plus the music. My gosh, the music. Lovely. So, beautiful transition scene. This is why I finally said, there's no consequence to this girl. When I say girl, I'm talking about goddamn Derek's girlfriend, Alice. So, the scene opens up to a beautiful red carpeted bedroom. Oh yeah, I have a color theory actually with I will get to it soon. But it's about the two colors red and blue and how it appears throughout this entire movie. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it makes so much sense. So red, okay, so this girl, you hear will hear muffled sounds from downstairs in her beautiful house. Oh, woe is me, I'm so privileged. And so she's beautiful, she's on the bed crying. And she hears downstairs her father and this night guy are talking about her Derek. Like, oh yeah, Derek is never gonna be able to beat Ollie, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, he's never gonna be able to beat him. You know, typical, yeah, whatever. We're supposed to root for the protagonist. That's the payoff, I can say. So the father finally comes up the stairs to her and then, you know, goes into her room, blah, blah, and then scolds her like, you need to get rid of your relationship with Derek because he poor. He's so poor. And he a peasant. And Alice is going, no, but I love him. She doesn't she doesn't get any consequences, truth be told. Because the father didn't even give her a scolding or anything. The only thing he did was just vent out to her like, he poor, your boy poor, go with Ollie, date Ollie. Ollie, you know, is related to the king. He rich, he noble, marry him. You know, like Asian parent style. But and then, you know, the girl Alice goes, no, I love him. And the father is just so fed up with her teenageriness. I mean, technically, back in the old days, yeah, he does care about his daughter. I can definitely see that. As much as he's painted out to be this villain, also villainy character, it's back in the old days, there weren't really that many, you know, options. And plus, the girl is noble. She can get another noble. Boom. Safety. You get financial security. You're safe for life, girl. Why are you going for a peasant? Boo. Well, is the father's argument. And so the father just goes, I can't even look at you right now. You better break it off with that boy. Or else. That's about it. There's no consequences. He just gets out of the room. She cries. That's about it. And so after the cries, we get a beautiful transition of the beautiful village looking so gorgeous. Mwah. And a nice, ready transition to Derek waking up in his bed. His blue carpeted bed. This is why my theory, actually, I noticed it on my first time while I was watching the movie. I was wondering, since the girl's bedroom is red and the guy's bedroom is blue, is it representing the social status, you know, the nobility? She's from a noble place and he's from peasantry. He's a peasant, he's broke. So, these two, all I knew was that, okay, blue is peasant, red is nobility. Red win, blue lose. Okay, good. You understand now, guys? Good. This video is already too long. It's 55 minutes, and I wanted to speak more. You know what? I'm just gonna spoil a little bit more, okay? Why the crack not? So, red and blue, you will see this in the tournament too. You'll see this color. I even have freaking screenshots of, I already knew who was going to win based off of the color of where they came in from. And if you noticed from the knights, they specifically have blue and red, whatever the hell belt they wore around their armor. So again, knights can't really say they're nobles, and I'm not really sure what exactly the hierarchy status system is based off of, but from my knowledge so far of reading mangas and manhwas and a lot of comics and studies, historically inaccurate ones, fiction, is that the knights represent the middle class of, you know, being in between blue and red, which is purple, but there's no purple in the movie, so I swear, there's no in between. It's either you're noble or you peasant, or you're just a knight. That's the only middle class in the whole movie. So moving on. And then what happened was, you know, Derek, he goes out. Well, I'm not out. Into the living room. He sees his stepdaddy, Greg. You know, Greg tells him, come over here, boy. Let's sit down. Let's have, you know, father to son talk, which was nothing. All he did was, hey son, Derek, remember, be careful of Ollie. He could ruin your life because he's related to the king. And then Derek was like, yeah, I got you, Greg. I got you. And so Greg just says that, and goes, all right, to take care, whatever. And then Derek goes out of the house, but then comes back up again the stairs to tell Greg, why is Hannah? Apparently, she's a irrelevant character. You won't even get to see her in the next in the rest of the movie. So she's irrelevant, but her design is pretty cute. And Derek was like, "Hey, why is blah blah blah? Why is Hannah outside and crying?" And Greg went, "What?" And so Greg goes down to and talks to Hannah near the farm, which was right next to his house, while Derek went off. It's like toodaloo, dad. I mean toodaloo, stepfather. Ba, 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 ba. And Derek talks to Hannah. This is where we get, some foreshadowing, I think. Some hints that, oh my gosh, it's Herobrine. And so Hannah is like crying, like, oh my god, last night I was chased. I don't know. My cow disappeared because something took it away. Blah, blah, blah. And I got a piece of evidence that in this story, historically, women back in the day, we didn't have many options. We either had to be drunk and single or oppressed and not single. Ugh, it's just, there's only two choices. So, how do I know this? Oh, it's because Greg tells to Hannah, oh, you must have drank too much again, dear. Because that's all you do. She's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I was drunk. I mean, not drunk. I don't think I was drunk. But Greg is like, yeah, I don't know. Go home, go to bed. And so Hannah takes his wise words as Greg goes back to his house. Da da da. And I was like, okay, all right, peace out. I'll follow his advice. And finally, we get to the scene of the throne room. We get to see the beautiful castle. Well, at least I think it's a castle. It's a beautiful treehouse kind of castle. Oh, it's so lovely. And we get to see the MILF and DILF. Okay, sorry. Well, not really a MILF and DILF because the king and queen don't have kids, I assume. But, alright. See you in the next video where I get to tell you my theory and also explained how. Well, you'll know in the next video. Ba 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 ba. This is the podcast. Woo! I'll see you later. Ba 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 ba.